In this video, we are going to learn to do the Jacob's Ladder lap robe or baby blanket. You can go to my website at www.freewebs.com/BethinTexas, and the menu will have Jacob's Ladder Afghan, or you can do /JacobsLadderAfghan.htm. I will provide a link below the video to my website so you can get the pattern. It is not the best written pattern that I've ever wrote, but we'll go over it together and you'll be able to follow it. The pattern's a multiple of 20 plus 10 plus 1. That means to do this section, it's 20 plus 20 stitches to do here and the chain loop. So 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then this is the other 10, and then plus the 1 on the end. Okay, so you can adjust this to whatever size you want, because it tells you here that the Afghan will be a little more than half the width of your chain, so you can make it bigger or smaller as you feel you need to. You just got to remember that almost half of your stitches are going to be turned into these braids, like what the Jacob's Ladder part is what that is. Okay, your turning chain counts as a double crochet, and I talk about the Afghan in my video, blah blah. Okay, and here it says use a J hook and 7/8 skein of each of 5 colors. That's to make the one in the video. I'm going to use an I hook this time. It's just recommended for this yarn, an I hook, and you can use an I or J or even a K depending on what yarn you use. If you use baby weight yarn, you want to use a G or an H. So and remember, baby weight yarn is going to come out smaller. So yeah, just grab some yarn, grab your crochet hook, and follow along. What I'm going to use here, I have some odds and ends of yarn. They're not really scraps, but they're just skeins of yarn that I don't have to go with other yarn. I have some pale yellow, and I have almost 2 skeins of that. And I have a skein of mint green, and I have a small skein of this lilac, and I have almost 2 skeins of this white. So mostly yellow and white, accenting with the green and the small accent of the lilac. Alright, I'm going to start with yellow, and I'm going to do what the pattern, like the pattern is written. I'm not going to modify the size for this. And it says to chain 211. So you start out with a slip knot, and this is how I do mine. I take and twist a 180-degree turn, and then I hold on to the twist and pull it through, and I make my slip knot count as a chain. You make your slip knot any way you want to, and you can count it as a chain or you don't count it as a chain. That's entirely up to you. Okay, so I am going to sit here and count 211 chains, so I'm going to turn the camera off and I will be back when I get to the 211th chain. So pause the video here, you make your chain, I'll make mine, and I'll be right back. I made my super long chain of 211 chain stitches. And you know, if you're not sure you counted enough for good measure, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra stitches on the end. When you come to the other end, you just don't work in any extra stitches you have. So I like doing that just in case I counted wrong. And if you have too many, you can always take them out the other end. Alright, so row 1. Let's look at the pattern. Let's see. Row 1, double crochet in 3rd chain from hook and in next 8 double crochet. So we're going to do that. Okay, 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. Now you can choose if you want to go in the bump on the back of the chain, or what some people prefer to say, the back bar of the chain, and go in that way. But it doesn't really matter on this one because we're going to single crochet across it as a border when we're finished. So just go ahead and double crochet in that third chain, and now we're going to double crochet in the next 8. So 1, to double crochet, you yarn over your hook, insert it in the chain stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Okay, do it again, and we want the next 8, so you'll have a total of 10 double crochet when we get to this, when we finish with this section. You count the turning chain as a double crochet. So let me count them. You just count the bars here. The turning chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 2 more. 9, 10. So we just did double crocheted in the third, chain from hook, and next 8. So it's like this. This is the chain, this is the double crochet in the third, chain from the hook, and then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which results in 10 double crochet. Okay, the next section's in parentheses. See if I can get it on here. Chain 10, skip 10 chain, double crochet in 10 chain. That's all in parentheses, and repeat it across the row. So everything within those parentheses, okay, where's my hook? There it is. Everything within those parentheses you repeat across the row. So chain 10, skip 10, double crochet in 10. All right, so you just make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now we're going to skip 10, so we need to count these little V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Skip the 10, go in the 11th, and we're going to double crochet in 10. So, okay, there we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get some more yarn, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I know I'm going pretty fast, but I'm going to have you pause it and you're going to work these on your own. But this is what we have. Let me zoom back out. There we go. So we have 2 solid groups of 10 double crochet, 10 chain loop, and 10 more double crochet. And we're going to chain 10 and skip 10 and work 10 all the way across until we get to the other end of our chain. So I want you to do that. So pause the video here, work your double crochet sections and your chain sections across the row, and then resume the video and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, I've worked the pattern all the way across the chain, and remember, I had chained a few extra just to be sure. Well, I must have counted wrong because I only did 5 extra and I had ended up with 6 extra chains. So when you're finished the afghan, before you put the border on, we're just gonna remove those chains, or you can work them in when you single crochet your border. So we're going to just ignore that little chain tail for now, and we're going to do row 2. So get my pattern out, and row 2 is here by my thumb. Chain 3, skip 1 double crochet. It's because chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet in 9, chain 10, skip 10 chain, double crochet in 10, and here it says double crochet in 10 chain. It should be double crochet. Repeat across row. It's a typo on my pattern. And it says repeat row 2 for the length of the afghan. So real simple. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to do the first part. It says chain 3. So I'm going to chain 3. And what we're going to do is turn our work around like this. And then we're going to skip this first stitch because this chain 3 counts as this first stitch. You can also use the alternative turning chain like I show in my Back to Basics scarf. I'm not going to bother with that on this one. And double crochet in the next 9 chains. 2. Get some more yarn. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Okay, we're at chain space, so I'm going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now be careful not to twist it like this. You want to turn it so that it's open like that, and then double crochet in each of the next 10 double crochets. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 10. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we have so far. You have 2 solid sections and 3 chains. So continue 10 chains and 10 double crochet across the row. But when I get over, I will pick it up when I'm in those last couple stitches, and I'll show you how to do that. So pause the video here, work your 10 double crochet, 10 chains across the row, resume it when you get to the other end, and we will see you down there. Okay, I've repeated my pattern across the row, and I am down to the end. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochet made. I need to make 2 more, so I make 1 in the next stitch. Okay, and now I'm going to go into the top of this chain 2 and make another double crochet. And to do that, it's sometimes easier to turn your hook around. Let me zoom in here so you can see a little better. Okay. you want to go under this loop here and this loop here and draw up your loop to make your double crochet. In the last stitch, and you repeat the second row as far as you want to go. And the one in the picture, I did I think I did 5 rows of double crochet of each of the major rows of color, and then divided them up with 1 row of another color. And if you see, I did a dark on either side of this stripe, and then I did a light color and then red on either side of the next stripe. See how I did that? But you can do any pattern you want and stripes on this afghan, or you can make it solid. It's a great way to use scraps. And a lot of times if you use one color, a light and dark alternating, it'll almost look like a plaid when you're finished. So there are all different kinds of ways that you can do your stripe pattern on this. I'm a person who don't like to deal with the tails, so I'll do like big sections of color and then stripe it. I like doing 5 or 6 rows of one color before I change. So yes, this is how you do it. So work on your piece until it's the length you want, 52, 54 rows of double crochet, or until it's the length you want. You might want to make it a little more oblong. This one's almost square for a lap robe. So so do your rows, and you can change color. There's 2 ways to change color to do your stripes. You can either pull your yarn through and cut your loop, and then insert your hook in the last 2 loops of your previous stitch. And let me get a piece of yarn here, and then draw up a loop of your next color. I like to bring that tail over the hook, and then start your next row that way. Or you can end off your yarn by making a chain 1, pulling it tight and cutting your yarn and turning your work, and then joining your yarn in that first stitch. Either way of color change is acceptable. So I am not changing color yet because I'm going to do a big block of yellow for my start. So what I want you to do is you go ahead and work on your afghan until it's the size you want. And then we're going to come back in the next video to finish it. We're going to learn how to climb Jacob's ladder, and then we're going to do our single crochet border on the top and the bottom. And then I have an alternate way to do the Jacob's ladder part, so you can do different designs. So I am going to do several videos on how to do that. So I am going to end this video here. I will do a separate video for the next step because it's going to take a while to do that part. It may take you a few days, it might take you a few weeks to do your whole afghan. So we will see you in the next video, and happy crocheting.